It's 7:35 and we have a quorum. So why don't we begin? Welcome everybody. Happy end of summer, happy beginning of fall. Lots of exciting things to talk about on today's agenda. The first item is we would like to review the meeting minutes, which we've had some time to do. I think let's start with August 14th because those are in, I think, great shape. And I was not there, so I will have to abstain. Those are in the mislabeled document titled Cohasset _AEC _minutes _08282025 final draft.
I think if I remember correctly, I was there, but my name's missing from the list.
All right, so that's a good catch. Let's put Doran. Yeah, you're not anywhere on this. I don't know why. Okay, I have Doran there. Save as.
So Tanya, I'm not clear. You said you weren't here on August 14th, but it has you here as an attendee. So
let me take myself out then.
I think that might be a good idea.
Sorry, before you do that, Tanya. Sorry, before you do that, I think the mistake is actually in the time in the minutes because I think these are the 28th minutes.
Yes. Sorry.
And I was not there.
Okay. All right. I'm so happy this is being recorded so the disorganization of this particular day can be documented forever. So the title on the document was correct. The date in the minutes at the top and in the headers, I'm looking, nope, headers are correct. It's just the date at the top for some reason is not correct. So we're going to fix these on the fly. So for the one that was named 082825, that's the August 28th meeting minutes. We're not going to focus on those right now because we're going to move to the other one that was correctly titled 0814-2025 p.m. I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Those we will change to August 14th. That is so weird. At the top, we will check the headers and note that the headers do say August 14th. And in looking at the excused absences, it's myself, Chris, and Steve. These were done properly by Martha, who was in attendance. Julie Gillis was there. And this is a summary of that meeting on August 14th, 2025. So that was the meeting. I was not there. And according to the record, neither was Steve or Chris. Is that correct, Chris? Do you recall?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. The date was, I'm out of the car. I can look at my calendar. What date was that?
August 14th.
14th.
No.
So Tanya, you're listed as present and absent.
Okay, so wait, I am so confused. The one on the 28th was that I'm looking at is actually the 14th because the special one was the one for the motions for, so the motion one, the short one should be for the 28th.
Yep.
That was our special meeting.
Yes.
Okay, we've got that straight out.
I was not there in the 14th, but I was there in the special meeting.
Okay.
I wasn't there on the 14th.
That's Steve. Okay. So we have Tanya, Chris, and Steve as absent on the 14th. Debbie, Tom, Martha, Doran, and Barbara, and Julia as present.
Yes.
All right. And it does include the data report, which I'm sure organized Chris Odleifson had somebody else provide, which is fantastic because we are now at, well, we were at $520,000. Chugging along on our hot summer days, saving the town money.
But at a slow rate. We got to fix those inverters. Then we're going to really turn on the engines again.
Excellent. Although we're at 31,000 for almost the first half, it's on target. I think we originally estimated, well, the kilowatt hours are down. You were correct. We definitely need to get more kilowatt hours and we'd get more savings because prices are higher than that 8.8 cents. So we're targeting on average the savings we're projecting, but the production is down. And we did check against the guarantees in the contract and they are still above the guarantees. And my understanding is there's been a breakthrough. So hopefully we will be getting those inverters and chugging faster. It's painful to know we could be saving more money, but can't. Okay, so for the one on August 14th, is everybody comfortable? You're looking at the right one?
Yeah.
And again, I apologize. Okay, so if you, if anybody is ready who is in attendance to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from August 14th, I'd entertain that motion in a second.
I so move.
Second.
All right, so Debbie made the motion. Was that Tom Daly doing the second?
Yep.
Excellent. So please do a roll call vote.
Tom Daly, aye.
Barbara Russell, aye.
Debbie, aye.
Doran Hole, aye.
Tanya,
Tanya Bodell, I abstain.
Steve, you're muted.
but you were there on that one.
Steve Winter, abstain. I was absent.
Chris
Tanya, were you
Odleifson
there on
abstained.
the 14th?
That wasn't one I missed, Debbie. You led that one. I was in Michigan.
No, I didn't I lead the one just on the motions on the 28th. That's the one I led. I think
I was not. I was in Michigan racing nationals, except that
okay.
there was no wind. So I didn't race, but I looked good with my all-female team in our outfits. And we won best dressed. We won best in show, but there was no award for that and there was no wind. That said, I was in Michigan and so I was not at this one. But again, so I moved myself out of an attendance to the excused absence. And so I abstain. Steve, you abstained. Chris?
I abstain. Chris Odleifson.
Very good. All right. So these are now approved and we will finalize them and post them. And thank you guys. Thank you everybody for having such a great meeting without me. Of course, as soon as I got back, I chatted with Debbie and Julia about what you had talked about. And it's so exciting, all the things that we need to do for the Climate Leaders Program. And that then prompted and prepared us for our warrant articles. So that was discussed 2 weeks later on August 28th. So I'm going to save out of the August 14th on the one that is titled August 28th, but has the wrong date at the top. So that is now fixed. On August 28th, we had a special meeting to discuss the fact that the town had asked the committees to provide a notice of intent concerning potential warrant articles for the upcoming special town meeting in November. We recognized as a committee that there were 2 time-sensitive warrant articles we would like to sponsor. And one was related to permission to lease property at the Osgood and Deer Hill schools for solar energy arrays. The second is a resolution for municipal functions to go net zero by 2050. There's a summary of the discussion with a placeholder for who made the motion and second and vote, which we can get from the video. And then similarly, the motion to adjourn, we can get from the video. So if you take a moment to review that for those who were there, let me know if this is correct. And remember, Debbie was there, I was there. Tom, were you at that one?
I phoned in.
You phoned in, perfect. Barbara was there. Steve?
Chris was there.
And Chris was there. So let me get Chris into the attendance. Okay. And Steve, you show up twice because you do double duty all the time. And Doran, I think you were absent when we had discussed that.
That's right.
So,
I was absent.
okay. And Martha was absent as well. So let me get Martha. Okay. Okay. So this is very short and sweet. I would entertain a motion to approve these minute meeting.
Tommy, could you turn that light on?
Subject to filling in the missing information based on the factual data in the videos.
I'm confused. I'm sorry, I logged in a little late. So is the attachment that you put incorrect? As far as the attendees go, I'm confused.
Yes. So I moved the corrections we're discussing now. I moved you into attendance, Steve.
Okay.
Off of the app.
It looks on my my calendar like I could have attended. I had it down in the calendar, and
I think you did because you wanted to know why we couldn't put. I thought we had a discussion about why we couldn't put the stretch code on the special town meeting.
oh, okay.
But if we want to be safe, we can say, I would entertain a motion to approve subject to confirming the factual information and including factual information related to who was in attendance, who voted, made the motion in the second, and the vote count, which was unanimous in both cases, and the adjournment. So if somebody's comfortable making that motion, I would entertain it. If you want to wait until next time after we can fill this in, I would do that as well. How do you feel?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, Chris Oderson? Great, thanks, Chris. I think make the motion that you would approve them subject to filling in the blanks with factual information from the video.
That's correct.
Could
Okay.
I ask a question here?
Mhm.
Let's see. On the where is it about the Climate Leaders program? Okay. Says the Climate Leaders Town information is included in the second tab of the document. Where is that? Second tab of what document?
Are you looking at August 14th, which we just approved, or August 28th?
28. August 28, under the Climate Leaders Program, The,
Okay, but Steve, this was the confusing part. That's misdated. That's the August 14th one.
oh, okay. Okay, it was the date of the meeting. Okay, so the other one, I should be looking at the other one now.
Yes.
Ah. Okay, the one that says 14th is actually the 28th. All right, got it.
Hi.
I guess I'm good with it.
Okay.
Did we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. So
This
we
is
have a
me.
motion from Chris, a second from Steve. Is there any discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Could we do a roll call vote?
Tom Daly, aye.
Barbara Russell, I.
Debbie Cook, aye.
Steve Winter, aye.
Tanya Bodell, aye.
Chris Albertson, aye.
Doran Hall abstaining.
All right, excellent. So we have 2 new meeting minutes to post. Thank you very much. So we'll finalize these, fill in the blanks, and send them to be posted. Excellent. All right. Thank you, everybody, for that. And thank you for meeting in August twice. I appreciate that. Okay, town staff report. Julia.
Hi everyone, how are you all doing?
Good.
So it is a lighter staff report than usual. But just want to start off with some news. So the National Grid Energy Summit is October 23rd. I sent out an email to everyone. If anyone is interested in attending, please let me know. We are actually going to have a member of our facilities department attend, and as well as a member of their staff to learn more about new systems and get educated on all things facilities. So that's October 23rd at Gillette. And let me know if you need any further information regarding that event. They will be able to pick up the incentive. So that's for projects involving National Grid. So it's a 10% incentive.
And what date is that?
October 23rd. I have a meeting tomorrow with Lisa Sullivan. We're closing out the Green Communities annual report. So that will be closed out at the beginning of November. And then the Green Communities Fall Block Grant, I'm in contact with Nick Berardi in facilities regarding their projects that they have lined up for this fall block grant, which we talked about at a previous meeting. So working on getting those submitted because those are due at the end of October, the last week of October.
Okay, good. And we don't have any concerns that we'll miss that date?
So from what I heard last from Nick, he said that Innovis had the documentation all lined up. So I would think we just need to update a few dates, skim through, make sure it's current. And then we can talk to Innovis and make sure that it'll be timely with this block grant. But it sounds like it's all good to go, but I haven't heard from Nick yet on that front. So hopefully I can talk to him tomorrow.
Great.
Another thing I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention was the MOU with National Grid for our Community Solutions program. The document was sent out to everyone, so I don't know if you all had a chance to look at that yet. It just outlines the community solutions agreement as well as action items for National Grid. We meet monthly with our rep, Amanda Formica, and another rep who is more familiar with like the building systems. So I know Debbie is very involved with this, as well as Barbara with our monthly meetings. So they definitely will have some insightful information to share. I know that there's a few aspects of the MOU that we want to capitalize on. So I think it's more regarding small businesses and maybe like bridging that gap and having more of outreach to the public. But I will let Debbie share if she has any input regarding that.
Can we pull it up? Is that
Yeah, you know what? Can I share my screen?
we should be able to.
And yep, share. Okay. Actually, hang on a second. I gotta pull it up. That was right. Sorry. I have so many tabs open. Okay, so all right, so let me share my screen. Sorry. Okay, this is it. Okay, so I don't know, did everybody get a chance to look at the MOU? Did any of you look at it?
I kind of read it. It looked kind of vanilla to me.
Huh?
It
Well,
looked kind of vanilla.
It's actually not vanilla. It's actually, first of all, there's a lot of deliverables in it that I think we need to deal with that we have not been dealing with. So Barbara and Julie and I have been meeting, you know, for quite a while with National Grid, and we've been working on the municipal side of trying to save, you know, save energy in municipal buildings. Huh? And so we're making progress there. As a matter of fact, I think Julia's, you've got some, you know, some they've set some spreadsheets and we're making progress. But we get compensated for you know, any energy that we save over these goals for each of 3 years, this 3-year program. So right here, part one, that I've sort of messed up here, but strategic energy management for municipal building program planning and prioritization. So this is the thing that we're working on now in year 1. And our kilowatt savings goal in the municipal side is to save 85,000 kilowatts. And that will save the town $51,000 if we do that. So over the 3 years, we can save $111,000 if we reach our goals, and we're actually making some progress. So then also with therms, you know, with natural gas, it's the same thing. We can save $60,000, but it isn't just the money that we actually get in cash from them for projects. We also get a lot of benefits from National Grid that other people don't get in helping us with on the municipal side. But where we are not, where we have other obligations with National Grid is down here, where we have to start working on community collaboration. So right here, community collaboration. This is what we've agreed to do as a town with small business, that we will have an annual small business work plan to identify target activities. And these are reaching out to small businesses to also affect energy savings. And, and so we need to do this work plan. I mean, National Grid has been over backwards for us. They actually offered to do a grant application for us that we couldn't get our act together on. I was really upset about that, but they said they would write it for us. And so I feel like we have to also do our obligation. So we signed on to this, and we're supposed to help with, with dealing with small businesses. We're supposed to have 5 implemented projects for each of the 3 years with small businesses. Then comes multifamily residential, and this is also working. It says here the partners will endeavor to engage at least 3 multifamily properties each year in the town. Working together, the team will engage in both medium and large units to provide information, education, and to collect customer feedback. So the idea is, that basically we're also supposed to be reaching 5 multifamily units a year. And this is working in partnership with National Grid using their educational materials. It can take a number of different forms, but that's an obligation we signed on to. The next one is really, I think is really interesting, large commercial and industrial retrofits. This is another part that we've obligated to, and it says large commercial industrial customers within the town may receive the same enhanced incentives as the town for qualifying energy efficiency projects to help encourage these customers to move forward. These enhanced incentives will be limited to 50% of the total project cost, or a resulting simple payback period of no less than 1 year. This is big. Could be big money for them. So, if we can move the needle on energy efficiency, but also, being able to offer them, these incentives that aren't normally available. So, so I feel like that we need to identify the ones that we want to work with, and then work with National Grid on this, and that's part of this whole partnership thing. And then additional areas of collaboration, it's to work with community-based organizations to participate in energy efficiency and other residential customer programs. And then there's an outreach and training component. And it basically, it also is, this is interesting here, work together to identify participants for the building operator certification program. National Grid reimburses 50% of the cost of completing this certification. So there's things for the community that we can, there's just a lot of things that we can do. And so National Grid these are the things that National Grid says that they are going to do for us. And that's providing the status reports, the community solutions account manager. They're going to share their Mass Save marketing materials, provide technical assistance, very important, assist with outreach communication, program information, all kinds of things they're going to do. What we're going to do seems a lot smaller, actually. A primary point of contact for communication regarding MOU activities. We've never really officially done that. I think Barbara, Julia, and I have been to all the meetings, and so, but we don't have an official person. And then it's this last one that I didn't put in yellow, but assist with outreach, communication, education, and other activities to promote MOU activities and engage existing and new customers. So my point about all this is that we do have an obligation to National Grid that's more than just the municipal side. And what I would like is we have, Barbara and but I feel like maybe we have maybe a subcommittee with the two of us and Julia and maybe one more person or whatever, whatever we need to kind of come up with a work plan to address these different issues and show National Grid that we are operating in good faith for what they're doing for us. And then I guess, we would take that and notify the town, let them know, and inform them of this and get their feedback on it. And then what I really think we need is to start engaging in the community, reach into the community and get people to help with various components of this. So that's what I guess my ask is. It's multi-pronged, a subcommittee, a work plan, and then reach into the community and start doing some of this.
I guess I think I'd like to be a member of that committee. Well, okay. Does the National Grid Energy Summit, do you think there'll be any useful information there that would be valuable for this program, this MOU?
Honestly, Steve, I think it's more technical, this one. This one's right, Julia. It's
Yeah, I think a lot of the experience at the summit is interacting with vendors. That's a big one. They do have seminars, which could probably help with. I don't know what the topics are yet. I don't think they've released that.
Well, I thought I saw them because I was hoping to go, but I have a commitment that I can't get out of. But I looked at the agenda, and this one, some of them are more community oriented. This one seemed like it was more for building management and stuff like that. And it was.
In the invite that Julia sent out, they have their topics to be covered. It's very brief. You want me to just read them off?
Yes.
Yeah.
Customer success stories. What's new in the 25-27 Massachusetts Energy Efficiency Plan? They mean the state plan or the National Grid plan? I'm not sure. Building decarbonization plans. For whom? I guess other towns? Not sure. Electrification technologies for your building. That sounds very technical. Tax incentives and grants, identification and utilization. So that's what they have listed. It sounds like it should be quite useful to us. I don't see any time here. What time is it? All day or in the afternoon or what?
It's usually an all-day event.
Do you know what time it starts? I could go, but I wouldn't be able to get there before, say, 9 o'clock, I think. Is that Gillette, right? You said?
Yes. Hold on, I'm looking it up now. So it is 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
I wouldn't be able to get there till probably about 9 o'clock.
I think that would be fine. I think they do like a breakfast, so it's
okay. Well, and does Cohasset pay the fee? Is there a fee to charge to attend?
I will talk to Michelle and just double check on that. I can get back to the committee tomorrow.
I thought
What's
it
the
was
event
spring.
again? What's the name of the event?
The National Grid Energy Solutions Summit. that
What's the
Julie was
date?
telling us
I'm
about.
sorry, I couldn't hear. What's the date?
October 23rd. So I'm thinking it might be useful to have at least one of us go there. And I'd be willing to
too,
go.
Steve. I'll go because I have to leave at around 3, unfortunately, but I can be there early. Maybe
Okay.
we can tag team if you want to tag team.
Yeah, I could stay later. All right,
That'd
well,
be
why don't
great.
we plan on doing that?
Although I'm not sure, I can't commit to it yet. I mean, I feel like I really do want to go because I'm on this subcommittee, but I'm working on, I teach on Thursdays and I just have to see if I can get someone to sub for me. So let me think about it, but I would like to go. Okay.
I see, Gillette Stadium. I thought they meant the
Oh, Gillette Stadium,
Gillette
not their
Shaving headquarters, but
corporate
they're
headquarters.
saying
That would
at the
be,
stadium. That's a little bit further away from me, so
it's a
probably
lot
another
further
half
away
hour,
from us.
probably be 9:30 before I can get there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have to put a pin on that one too. It's not sure.
I wonder
All
why
right.
you have it at the
So
stadium. of all
Julia,
places.
what do you she'll yeah, so do you want to discuss this offline maybe and check out the agenda to see whether you know, I don't know, because my initial reaction was it was a lot more for the, you know, um the technical guys, you know, in the, but anyway,
So
but
yeah, so I mean, I guess in terms of this MOU, I have trouble putting this into the context of deliverables because I know that Amanda et al. At National Grid have been incredibly generous about framing it in terms of start date. They pushed it back just to make sure that we could incorporate anything that was going on earlier than we signed the MOU. And then later, she said, we have the flexibility to push it way out. But in terms of deliverables, I think better in terms of what we need to do, right? So in there's also the team. So Deb, I guess we've already established the team because it
I
says
think
that
we need to expand it a little bit though.
Okay,
Because
because
the
right,
team
we're on
right
the hook
now
to
is
do
you,
that.
me, and Julia. And I think we need one or two more people, but I don't want to
Oh,
get
I'm
into
volunteering.
forum issues.
Hold on, because I just want to make sure. Right now, the team includes National Grid, Julia, and I think Barbara and Debbie. And that's the team. If we put in one or two more people and make it a subcommittee, then you're going to have to post a meeting every time National Grid wants to do a call. I don't think you want that. We've been
No,
operating
that's true,
very
Deb.
efficiently right now. So, but what I do think the team may benefit from, as well as the town, is a subcommittee, a dedicated subcommittee of this committee focused on MOU, National Grid MOU strategy and implementation. And we can create that subcommittee. It can have as many people as wants to join. If there's 4, that's fine. We're good, but as a subcommittee, it's going to have to post meeting minutes. It's going to have post agendas 48 hours in advance. It's for meetings. It's going to have to take minutes and post those, and they will be part of our documentation. So on the webpage. So just be aware, the subcommittee, I agree. I think a subcommittee could be very useful to get their arms around what are our obligations, simplify it down, communicate that, make sure the town's aware. What can we do about it? What's the plan to go forward? I'm imagining like a task list with responsible parties. And then sort of I don't want to say herding the cats, but just helping things move forward. and then being able to report out to the select board on the status of the MOU. I can see
that was what I
that.
envisioned. That is what I envisioned. I think you're absolutely right. I think that was the what I had thought it should be.
And then the team has overlap, but it's separate. The team
Right.
is a town-based team, happens to have 2 people from the Alternative Energy Committee, but it is non-official Alternative Energy Committee subcommittee or function. It's
We'd be
just
kind of a conduit between.
your liaisons. Let's say that. You're the
Yes, yeah.
liaisons from the
Yeah.
Alternative Energy Committee to the team, as well as providing your expert advice and gathering up 10% coupons like they're Skittles. So since that is why we have our first 10% off coupon, thanks to Debbie Cook. So I think I see the value of a dedicated subcommittee of this committee just to harness and train and direct the MOU efforts. And as 2 of the members of that committee who have shown interest already are on the team, it would be that much more compelling. And at the same time, we would be able to have the subcommittee report out to the committee on what's happening based on what they know from the liaisons, as well as what they're developing themselves. Does that make sense from an organizational perspective?
It makes sense to me. Barbara, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the details are going to be interesting because, there's a lot of you guys, some of you are much more experienced in this than I am, but when I read through the vision statement, et cetera, in the MOU, there's a lot of big picture comments here. And then they also reiterate a lot of who they think we are. We're in the middle of developing a climate action plan, and we're doing all of these things that I think we are, but I'm hoping we are. And then, but it goes into the weeds on, municipal buildings, and I think we've done an audit of sorts, right, Deb, on some of the municipal buildings. In the past, establish clear goals on this as to what we are intending in terms of energy saves on each of these buckets, right? It's small businesses, it's municipal, et cetera. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of legwork to be done prior to kind of going down the path with National Grid. And I really don't know how to go about it. I know that we've met with some of like Parenti, et cetera, but are we up to the task of doing this quickly? Because they also said, hey, get on this for Energy Awareness Month in October, which is next week. So
right.
Well, I think there are things. Oops. I think there are things that this committee is very good at. I think there are a lot of things that this committee is very good at, honestly. And this is yet one more example of how we can apply our skill sets, and being able to publish an article in Stroll or the Anchor about the MOU and what it means, that could be one step. It turns out we can get a whole list of every single property in Cohasset. It's public record. Every property in Cohasset, how many units, square footage. I don't think it has the value, but it doesn't matter. The point is we can get a list of every single multi-unit residence. We can get a list of all the commercial properties, and we can get a list of others. So we would have a list with addresses that is public and therefore could be shared. And I think this subcommittee could figure out a way, how do we start approaching them? So I think, and part of it is also putting out a plan first so that Julia can socialize that with the town manager and say, this is under the obligation of the MOU that was signed. And here's how the Alternative Energy Committee recommends proceeding. So the subcommittee would develop a plan based on the MOU, and discussions with Julia and National Grid could come back to, or with the liaisons, having those discussions so you don't have to post a meeting. Come back to this committee with a plan on how to approach this. The committee can vote to approve, modify, whatever. And then hopefully at that point, you've already socialized it well enough that Chris is ready to sign off. And either he signs off because this is an obligation of the town that he's responsible for implementing, or if it has to go to the select board, it goes to the select board. But whatever the subcommittee develops as a plan would then come back up to the committee. The committee would vote on it, a vote to approve. And then that could go forward. Some of the action items might be tied to our committee members and our committee. Like the committee will write an article on the following topics within the next X months. We know we can do that. The committee will host an open session at the following events, birthday event, other Thursday markets, if that's what we want to do, to advertise, work hand in hand with National Grid on Mass Save. So again, I think the subcommittee can flesh out how we do this. I think the subcommittee knows what this committee can do and does very well, but the subcommittee also might identify things that this committee is not positioned to do. And that might be something that the town is better positioned to do. So
yeah, I agree with that, but I'm sorry to interrupt, but no, the National Grid is on the hook too, right? They're giving us access to their energy efficiency rep. And so I imagine that person would do a walkthrough and an audit of the buildings that matter to get us to hit these marks, to hit these goals.
That's fine. Again, that's for the subcommittee to flesh out.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what we're getting into, I guess is where I'm going. I assume that they're going to do a lot of heavy lifting because I don't want to spend weeks in town looking up at buildings, wondering.
Oh, I don't take it like that. I think, they're looking to us to identify like five commercial establishments that we, might want to contact and work with them with materials from National Grid, on energy saving things. I mean, that's the strategy. I feel like National Grid is kind of open-ended on this, but they do want us to hit these various areas, and they've given us, sort of these general goals. But I also think that it would really, really be a feather in our cap if we could help some of these larger commercial establishments get the incentives that the town gets. And that's something that we can also, let people know about that they're getting this done. A good kind of goodwill for us too, but I think we just, the subcommittee, when we get together and we kind of look at this, and when you start thinking about it, I don't think it's as overwhelming as it seems. And I think they're pretty forgiving about it. It's just they want to see action on this.
Could I try to make this a little more concrete here and get a better understanding? So is the idea that our committee, I'm assuming it's our committee and not town staff, but our committee would identify commercial entities for which a project, projects might be viable. And then we would talk with the proprietors of these commercial buildings and say that we have this understanding with National Grid, who will provide some guidance for us, some money for us, an energy auditor, and so forth, to help them identify how to increase the efficiency and save some money. And National Grid would actually kick in some money to actually implement this stuff. And we might work with Mass Save also as an auditor to help identify efficiency. Is that kind of how it would go? And then if the building owner agreed to this, then we would do some bookkeeping on our part to keep track of the project as it goes from initial stages through completion. And do
Steve,
this
I
with all
think
the other projects identified? Is that the idea?
I
I
think
think-
you were absolutely correct until the bookkeeping part. I think National Grid, it's kind of, we turn it over to them and they carry out the projects. And I think they're the ones that would do the bookkeeping. We would be the ones that would kind of identify things and get things started. But, you know, it's the same thing with the municipal buildings. They have literally, they are taken over. If the fire and police station goes forward, I don't know, but they were all prepared. They've got their team assigned and ready to go. And that, I think, is the way they're going to operate with these larger groups.
So
We
we
won't
would
have
have
to
to
do the
do
big
we do the
bookkeeping.
initial footwork to identify.
Yes.
Could I just,
businesses?
so this is exactly what I think the subcommittee would determine. I think the subcommittee would get into these details, Steve, and I think these are great ideas and I can see them being very feasible. But I think that the point of establishing a subcommittee is to have the subcommittee have their own meeting focused on the MOU only. So they're a special subcommittee and they would look at what are the MOU requirements, when are they due, and who within the town is town or National Grid is responsible for doing it. And in going through that process, we'll have a comprehensive list of all the MOU requirements, what the timing is, and what the action plan is associated with it, and the responsible party. Sometimes the responsible party will be National Grid. Sometimes the responsible party may be, based on the recommendation of the subcommittee, this committee. Sometimes it may be that the town staff or the buildings DPW is the only entity that is in the best position to be able to do this. So I think before we get ahead of ourselves, the point of having a subcommittee is to do exactly what you've just walked through so beautifully and eloquently in your mind about how this could work. But in my mind, that's what the subcommittee would establish. And the deliverable would be a matrix chart. You can do it either in Word or Excel that lists every obligation the town has under the MOU, what the timing is, what it entails, and who's responsible. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Does that and Barbara, from your perspective, does that seem like a pathway forward?
Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I think we have to go hand in hand with National Grid though, because they can help us identify a lot of this as they did with the muni building.
Mm-hmm. But again, we have a lot of resources available to us as a committee. And sometimes the resources we have are getting others who are in a better position to make things happen. So I think the subcommittee would identify who owns that obligation or who should own that obligation, not who does, who should. Our committee would then review that and understand from the subcommittee why they're making this recommendation. We would vote on it, send them back, whatever we do, hopefully approve it. And then it goes to the town for their review, including the select board. And then move it forward. Okay. All right. So given all of that, I would entertain a motion to establish a subcommittee focused on understanding the requirements of the MOU and developing a proposal on how to achieve those obligations.
I'll make that motion. I do have an additional question, a technical question I'd like to ask at some point.
Let's ask that during the discussion. We have a motion to approve a subcommittee. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I'll say Debbie Cook is a second. And then is there any discussion? Chris, you have a technical question.
Deb, can you just outline how does National Grid calculate our energy savings?
I don't know, maybe Julia, we could figure, we get at these meetings a summary of our energy savings to date. And I honestly don't know. They give us, several comprehensive pages of energy savings and things. And I think, we can certainly drill down with them later, and find out how they've calculated. I sort of haven't wanted to ask because they're saying, we're on track and we're doing a great job, and I'm like,
Well-
well, I'm okay with that. So,
Well, what are we doing to save energy?
um, so I think there have been some, some building changes. For example, we got, I don't know, a ductless mini split in CSCR. I mean, there's some small incremental changes that they've been doing, and I think at the schools, um, they've been working on some of the projects, but it's I don't know, Julia, do you happen to know how it's calculated? I just sit there and think, wow, this is great. I have no idea.
Unfortunately, I can't tell you. I don't know. I'd have to look at their documents and then probably ask more questions.
Yeah,
Why-
we have
why-
to definitely ask questions.
Well,
Why
we
would
might, it might be
s-
nice to know what the levers are. So whatever the levers are, we can, or the dials, we can turn them more.
Wouldn't it be as simple as just measuring the energy use, be it electricity or gas over a certain period, and then what it would be like once the changes have been made?
So at the
Reductions
university,
in-
when they did it, we did it with Eversource. For example, they would say, we're going to give you this much money to relamp your buildings. And they took the before energy use and the after energy use, and there's a net savings.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
as
that's how
simple
they
as
have to
that.
do it.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
the
think-
Unfortunately, I don't
companies-
know what projects they've actually, there have been a
That's the
couple of
problem.
things,
Yeah.
like CSCR is the one I know, clearly. But as far as everything is really on hold, I mean, they're waiting to respond to town hall, and they're waiting, which seems like that is on a big delay. And then, of course, who knows with the police and fire station. I mean, the thing is, and you probably, I'll just, so at the town hall, and I know we've talked about this before, if you don't want me to discuss it.
We have a motion on the table in a second, and this is discussion about the motion. Is this
Okay.
a
Well, I
discussion?
just wanted to talk quickly about what National Grid did for the technical part of what Chris was asking under the discussion.
Hmm.
So just quickly, Town Hall is considered a retrofit project. And so they have a different team working with Town Hall. And then the police station is considered what they call a new pathway project. And they have a whole different team working with them. So that I don't that's really where I think everything stands right now.
Okay, so look, I do think there's value in the subcommittee. We have a motion, a second. Is there any further discussion? I want to thank Julia and Debbie and Barbara for spearheading the work you've been doing as liaison. Once we take a vote on the subcommittee, we'll then ask for volunteers. So we have a motion and a second. We've had discussion. I think we're ready for a roll call vote. Tanya Bodell, aye.
Chris Alderson, aye.
Tom Daly, aye.
Debbie Cook, hi.
Barbara Russell, I.
Dorn
Steve Winter,
Holmer, aye.
I heard,
Steve Winter, aye.
okay,
Chris
perfect.
and I talked on top of each other, so.
Yeah. Okay, we've got the roll call vote. Excellent. This passes unanimously. Now, who would like to volunteer to be on this subcommittee? We have Debbie and Barbara and Steve. Anybody else? Martha may want to as well, so we should reach out to Martha.
Well,
And
I think we could use a little more help if there's anybody who has.
And the issue though is we just can't meet a number greater than 3. Is that correct?
No, you have to take, it turns out you have to post meetings and take minutes, even if you're less than a quorum.
Do you mean the size of the subcommittee or when we meet?
When you meet the subcommittee, not the team, the subcommittee is an official subcommittee of our committee, and therefore you're subject to open meeting laws.
I understand, but okay, so no matter, right, so even if two of the 3 or 4 committee members meet, we need to report that.
Whatever, yes.
Okay.
And if there's less than a quorum, I don't know if it would be considered an official meeting.
We should find out, probably. I also have to figure out what that means, right? How do we report it? You'd have to tell me.
Report the meeting?
Yeah.
Same way
We have to post an agenda. Like we do for our meeting at the town clerk's office.
Okay.
And then write minutes.
I definitely would encourage Martha to participate on this meeting if I were you. Because the minutes are awesome.
Good suggestion.
Okay. All right. So we have the 3, Barbara and Debbie and Steve, and why don't you reach out to Martha and see if she'd like to join this committee. But right now we've got 3 and we leave it to you. You're an official subcommittee. If you're going to have meetings, please post 48 hours in advance and take notes so that we can then post the meeting minutes to be complete about this. Congratulations. Yay. This is going to be very useful, I think. And once you get your arms around it, I think it's going to go faster in understanding what needs to be done than it may seem.
So Tanya, I feel like in the beginning we're going to have freewheeling discussions. It's going to be just a freewheeling. How are we going to handle this kind of a thing? So I'm just thinking a couple of sentences of description. Was it organizing or whatever, and that's going to be the extent of our minutes.
We don't need to discuss that at this committee. That's subject to the subcommittee.
Yeah.
We do have to post meeting minutes. The level of detail or lack thereof is up to you. It just has to be in compliance with open meeting laws.
Okay.
Okay, great. All right. Anything else? Town staff report, Julia? Or are we have we completed?
I think we're completed unless anyone has questions for me.
All right. Thank you, Julia, for your great help and your great work. Socializing the warrant meeting articles. I will just give an update on that. I have sent a copy of what we're proposing to the school committee. My hope is that they would let us come present to them and they would approve this going forward. If they don't want to do it, then I would think we'd have to withdraw the solar energy array. I'm also reaching out to the advisory board and the select board to be in front of them to discuss these 2 warrant articles, knowing that the resolution for municipal functions to go net zero by 2050 is something we need to discuss regardless of what the school committee wants to do on the solar energy array. So I'm taking the lead on that, and I'll have the other outreach done by tomorrow. And then I think we need to think about how to socialize these, especially the resolution for municipal functions to go net zero. We might want to think about doing an article on that.
So Tanya, I did finally hear from Lisa a response, because remember I sent the language to her just to vet it to see if that would suffice. And I got a response back from her that said it would, but she wanted it fleshed out some more. So I just heard from her a couple of days ago, so I haven't worked on it. But my understanding is the language that we put in is still flexible. I mean, does not have to be anywhere near the final language. It's just,
Well, we're running out of time because the special town meeting is November 16th. Is that right?
yeah, but
6th?
we still have time, I think, to wordsmith it a little bit.
We do right now, but that's quickly closing. So we want to make sure we finalize as soon as we can.
All right. Well, I'll find out from, what they were thinking about and see. She just wanted it fleshed out a little more, and I don't even know what that means, but
Okay. All right, good. Thank you, Debbie, for all your hard work on that. Anything else on the warrant meeting articles? All right, data report. How much has our solar energy array made us to date? And who's using those stations? Woo!
You're muted, Chris.
Chris?
Yep, okay. I have all you guys are miniature, so okay. So, this is a chart that we looked at about a year ago. I thought I'd pull it back up again. It's, our usage by month and cumulative usage from, January of 2021. And you can see that, up until it was free, it was growing. The usage was growing as awareness was increasing. And when we instituted a fee, it dropped like a stone, and it's pretty much stayed constant, declining a little bit. So you can see the slope of the curve really made a distinct shift then, and we've been on a pretty constant curve since line since then, but a lower slope.
I wonder if that growth was tied to not just town people, but Ubers and Lyfts who heard the town of Cohasset would let you charge for free. And
Interesting.
because I do know that there was one who did come, plugged in, left, not appreciating that the idle fees had kicked in. And despite the fact he kept getting charges, his ended up being like $150 at some point. So I think, I don't know. I don't know what that original growth was from, but we are now no longer giving energy away for free, but it's still a good deal for residential.
It sure is.
And it's a convenience. So anybody who has a back-to-back trip and can't charge on their level 1 can go to one of the town's level 2, let it charge for 5 hours, go shopping for an hour, get another 20 miles. I mean, it's quite coming up on my 1-year anniversary. I have to say, I have not had, knock on wood, an issue with charging. In part because when I needed level 2, I have access to a level 2.
Oh, so you take your car to a town level 2?
Down here, I do. Yes.
Yeah, versus, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to move. I'm going to take this off.
Julia.
Julie, I see your hand raised.
Oh, yes. I just wanted to make a quick note so that everyone is aware, because our services are ending with ChargePoint, wrapping up pretty soon because we'll be moving to new chargers and a new system. I don't know how long we'll have access to the ChargePoint dashboard. Each week I have been going in and saving a master list of all of our data, so that we have it as close to whatever date it's discontinued as possible. But I just wanted to put that on your radar. Our service agreement is set to expire October 28th. And we're still waiting to hear back from the Mass EVIT program regarding the rip and replace project.
So is it possible we won't have EVs? after October 28th?
So I did talk to Michelle, because I had asked ChargePoint if we were able to continue our agreement just for, they don't do like month to month, it's only annual. So town leadership was not willing to extend the ChargePoint agreement for another year. But it's likely that we'll hear from the Mass EVIP program soon, and we'll be in contact with East Coast Renewable Energy when that happens. I actually just sent an email to Mass EVIP the other day to get a status update on our specific locations that are going to be updated. And so they're going to get back to me hopefully soon, but the worst case scenario was like beginning of November, beginning to mid-November. So I did send an email to our communications person, Kevin Perry, to share with the town manager. And it just so that the town residents would be aware if there were to be any issues with usage during that small window. But until we get a little bit closer, hopefully we hear back from Mass EVIP.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry, Julia, Mass EZIP, what is it?
It's MAEVIP. It's Massachusetts Electric Vehicle
Incentive program.
Yes.
That's a state program.
Yes, so that's who we had East Coast Renewable Energy come before us. I think it was in July, and they explained their rip and replace program. They are going to upgrade the stations, the hardware, and also that includes the software as well. So our services with ChargePoint, as this data being displayed, will probably have some new portal for whatever software we receive. I just can't remember the name of the exact program off the top of my head, but we are continuously saving our latest ChargePoint data weekly so that we don't lose that. However, it is definitely lengthy and comprehensive, so it's just a ginormous Excel sheet. So I would think that it would probably take some time to get it back into like a digestible data presentation like this. But we will have it.
That's great. That's good.
Thank
And
you.
I'm still confused. Are we in danger of the chargers going dead when this ChargePoint contract?
yes, we are. Yes, we are. It might be
And-
for a couple weeks.
And are you talking about a state program, or is this a commercial entity that we're negotiating with?
It's a state program.
I'm sorry?
It's a state program. The funding is through the state program. But
Okay,
we're working with
But
it.
who are we finding, who is going to be our new network then?
Autel is going to be the hardware. I know that the software is open protocol, so we technically can change our whichever service we want. We can change it out. But I think Autel will be the hardware. And then I'd have to double check who our software servicer will be. But it will
Right.
not be ChargePoint.
I only know about 4 networks. There's ChargePoint, Flow, which Hingham has, Blink, which is popular in New York, and Tesla. Is there another one?
Yeah, Steve, I recommend all of the details are in the meeting minutes from when we took the vote on whether to recommend the town
Okay.
pursue rip and replace.
Thank you, Julia. And
I just wanted to let you know in case it's farther down the road. The service agreement doesn't end till the 28th, so I'd imagine we have access to this data format and dashboard till then. But in case you were to check it on like the 29th, I don't know what it will look like.
Yeah,
But we
well,
do
thank you.
have the hard data stored.
Great.
Well,
Excellent.
I'd be more concerned about the whole network going dead.
Well,
Being unable to charge my car.
fingers crossed that we hear back from Mass EVIP soon. And then East Coast Renewable said that they can do it, the installs immediately. And they said it would take only a day for them. So it's really just waiting to hear back from the funding source.
Okay,
Julia, when you sign up for the users and so on, if you could sign me up with a nice access I have here, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Okay, now I'm going to move to the dashboard. Everybody see the dashboard?
I think you have to
You have to reshare or something?
stop sharing and then reshare.
No, I've got
Okay.
it.
I see it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see it. Yep, I got it.
You got it? All right.
Yep.
Now that's interesting. You guys have disappeared, but okay. So you can see we're sort of flattening out here. I mean, if you look at the unique drivers in June, 114, 94, 100, 104. September's a partial month. So flat. Sessions are sort of flat. Energy, a little bit of variability, a little up in August. So things I think, well, based on this and the earlier chart, things are flattening out.
Great.
Okay. And now I got the solar field. You talked about that while I was on the phone, didn't you, Kanya?
The solar, I was talking about the warrant article, but did we get a update?
Well, we didn't get an update the last couple of weeks. I think we, well, first of all, I have to, hold on, let me stop sharing. There we go. Here, let me, I sent you and Martha a copy a couple weeks ago. Let me see if I can figure out where that is again.
Right, because he sends it to us, I think, for each month.
Yeah.
I got it. Town
You
benefits through August 25th is the last one that I have.
Will you share that?
Yep. All right, let's see if I can find it, and I will share screen. Window. Let me.
Oh, I have. Oh, where'd it go? Oh.
I think I'm going to share my entire screen and then pull up.
Oh,
Tell me, do you have this now? Do you
well,
see
I
it?
have an email. I mean, see attached. I'm not, hold on a sec. Okay, here we go. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I got it right here. I just pulled it up. Okay, let me share my screen again. Let me go get there. Share, boom. Okay, you seeing it? No?
Yep.
There we go. Okay. So this is where I was a little confused. I was on the phone. I didn't have the data in front of me. I was a little bit confused what you were saying, Tanya. I mean, we're at a run rate here for the annual run rate, year to date through August, which is 2/3 of the year at 38. So that would make our run rate from the net benefit pretty substantially below our annual benefits in previous years.
No, that's the quantity produced. If you look at I was talking about the net benefits to the town of Cohasset.
Yeah.
That is a combination of both price and quantity. So our quantity has been going down, but our average savings per kilowatt hour has been going up. So they've been balancing each other out. So,
right. But the right, okay, so that mitigates it somewhat, but not entirely.
well, we could be saving more if they had the inverters on.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That was my point. All right. Great. So there it is, $526,000, and we've begun our trek towards $1 million, and we'll get there in a few years.
Excellent. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
All right. I'm going to stop sharing if anybody has any questions.
All right.
Yeah, just in terms of the way that the net metering credits work, those move around based on the marginal kind of power prices?
Yes.
So as kind of base power prices go up, our net metering credits will go up?
Yes. So we're in a sweetheart deal, since we're a municipality, that
Yeah.
we receive a net metering credit equal
Mhm.
to the transmission, distribution, and energy costs. And the energy cost is based on the
Okay.
default supply price for the G3 rate.
Okay.
But the nice thing is we also get the net metering credit for the transmission and distribution as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this will not be as lucrative the next round.
I think I had heard that in other jurisdictions, NetGrid had gone for a pretty significant increase in their rate case. That's why I was asking, so we maybe can anticipate that benefit may actually go up in future years and sort of magnify if we get the inverters back up and running too.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
Thank you.
Well, Tanya, wouldn't we calculate, we consume what we produce and we pay 8.8 cents per kilowatt hour. And wouldn't our benefit be what we would otherwise pay minus the 8.8 cents?
Yes, and that's the net metering credit in
That's the
the
net metering credit. So, right. So wouldn't we sort of calculate it in the same way when we may have, I mean, I'm not sure I understand why our benefit would go down in the next round.
the next round, meaning the school roofs, because we're not going to get an 8.8 cents.
Oh, okay. That's what you're getting at. Okay, great.
It's
Yeah.
probably going to be 16.
Yep. Got it. Okay.
Ish,
Thanks.
14 to 16 is my guess based on, well, and if we don't get it in place, if we don't start construction by July 1st, 2026, it's probably going to be underwater and it's not going to create savings because they would lose 30%, the 30% investment tax credit. That's why this is so critical to get this voted on and approved for the leases, so that as the roof is getting replaced, the solar energy company is, if we go with the developer, which is what I would recommend, the developer is starting construction before July 1st.
Mhm.
And hopefully there will be developers out there that have the bandwidth to be able to do this for us. But we need to, as soon as we get town approval for the lease, we need to put out a procurement request for proposal and do it lickety split and quickly. Luckily, we've done this twice before, so we have the documents to do it. It's just a question of whether or not these companies are still alive and still able to operate. And Palmer, hopefully Palmer is not annoyed at us for not being able to deliver on the credit purchase agreement, because it'd be nice to continue to have them as a partner for the schools. But again, there's a lot of work in front of us on the solar energy array. And timing matters. That's why we're bringing it forward as a warrant article before the special town meeting. Okay. Thank you, Chris. Great data. Climate action plan. I don't think we have anything on this at this point, except that we are trying to get the warrant article for the resolution for municipal functions to go net zero by 2050 in order to get grant funding to support a municipal climate action plan.
Can you elaborate on that? What are we waiting for with respect to the warrant and the cap?
The warrant, by doing a resolution for municipal functions to go net zero by 2050, we would then be able to apply for technical support for a municipal climate action plan. We can move forward if the members of this committee feel confident that we can develop our own municipal climate action plan. I think we can do a lot of it, but November 28th is the deadline for a grant proposal to get technical support for a climate action plan. Municipal climate action plan.
Municipal, right?
The decarbonization roadmap, as it's called. So I think our next step is getting the approval from the town for the resolution for municipal functions going at zero by 2050, which would then allow us to put in a request for a technical grant due November 28th. I think we're very focused on that, but I think before the end of the year and sooner rather than later, we'd probably want to create a subcommittee focused on the municipal climate action plan.
We have to do it if we're going to be a climate leader, right? It's required to have a municipal cap.
I would argue we have to do it for good governance. It
Well,
doesn't
of course,
matter if we're
but-
going to be a climate. I agree with you. We want to be a climate leader. My understanding is it's possible the leadership of this town is not convinced that it's worth becoming a climate leader.
Well, I
But-
have a good carrot for them, right? The good carrot is that we get much larger grants as a climate leader, right?
That is what we anticipate and expect. But I think the other compelling argument that has nothing to do with whether or not we pursue climate leadership is we live in a state, we operate in a state that is committed to go to net zero by 2050. To put our heads in
Right.
the sand and not think about how we as a town are going to be able to comply with that is bad governance.
No question. I think of you as wanting to make sure that there's a carrot at the end of the stick, and it's over $1 million of grants per round, right? As opposed to the much smaller amounts.
That as well, but as soon as we start tying this to climate leader status, we now are also tying it to a fleet commitment and a stretch code, which we don't right now.
No,
Or
well, no,
March.
but we talked about that at the emergency meeting. You don't have to have the specialized stretch code. They encourage you to, but you don't have to have the specialized stretch code to become a climate leader.
Yeah, you do.
I
Yeah,
don't believe
that's mandatory.
I'm
You have
trying to
to-
keep it.
No,
clean.
you have to just, no. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
it's the 6th requirement
Yeah.
to adopt the specialized opt-in code.
At some point, I mean, okay, I could be wrong, but I recall that the entry level requirement is that you have the base stretch code, and then you have to commit to going to the specialized opt-in. But you can start as a climate leader and be certified as a climate leader. And I would look at that, Julia, because I think that you can earn that.
I think maybe the confusion is the difference between having the specialized stretch code authorized by the town and having it active as the current building code. I think you only have to have the town meeting approve it in a motion that we're going to adopt the code. But then it takes like, I don't know, I forget how long, at least half a year before it becomes live, so to speak. It doesn't have to be live to become the climate leaders community, I think.
I'm just looking it up now.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know right now we have the stretch code. I'm pretty sure that's mandatory for all Massachusetts towns at this point. So,
For
Green
climate-
communities,
for green
Yeah.
communities.
green communities towns.
Yes, okay. I just found it. So I'm just become a climate, to become a climate leader, you must at least maintain your green community stretch code status. To excel within the climate leader program, adoption of the specialized stretch code is a highly encouraged best practice and will strengthen the town's application and funding opportunities. Communities that adopt the specialized code are more competitive for doer grants and often more attractive for federal funding matches.
And
So
they
there.
clearly changed it from what the original
Is that right?
requirements were.
That was not the real. They're always tinkering around the edges.
Yeah, boy, that's new language to me.
Yeah, we the federal incentives, I think we can all agree, are probably dead until 2028.
Yeah, but there's no, right, but we're still gonna get help from the state to create the cap, financial help, not just the municipal.
That's why we have the warrant article.
I understand,
Okay.
right, but for both caps, right? The larger cap being the community cap rather than just the municipal cap.
Well, the resolution for municipal functions go net zero by 2050 is a municipal cap. And then we can turn to a community-wide cap.
Right,
We're focused right now on the municipal. which is what's required for climate leaders.
But
Yeah.
we are also approved. I thought our conversation was that we have been sanctioned to go forward with a community climate action plan.
No, we've been approved to go forward with a municipal decarbonization roadmap, which is municipal focused climate action plan, not community wide.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
That was a big step. I would say baby step, but that was still a we got unanimous approval for that.
Well, I'm reading in what you sent us regarding the town warrants. We have discovered that funding is available for towns looking to do a climate action plan. Proposals are due November 28th.
Yes, but that is for the municipal. So I probably should have said decarbonization roadmap or municipal climate action plan.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I think let's take baby. How do you eat a whale? Anybody know?
Yeah. One bite at a time.
That's right. So we're going to take the municipal decarbonization roadmap bite, and we are plenty busy for the next 12 months between making sure we get the solar energy array on the school property, getting the approval for that, getting a municipal decarbonization roadmap, and we're just going to keep taking one bite at a time of this whale. And I think all of us feel like our mouths are pretty full as it is, but we'll just keep chewing and keep taking bites.
And speaking of that,
Yes.
Julie and I were talking today, the MVP 2.0 or whatever.
Mhm.
We talked about it today, whether there are things in there that we're going to be involved in or responsible for. I was curious. I read it in the town manager's e-news, and I thought, that I was wondering actually who applied for it, because member Ginny was working on it and talking about it through our committee. So we got it, and whether there's things that we have to do for that too.
I think we want to make sure that the last MVP, the last hazard mitigation plan, very clearly talked about looking into microgrids, looking at renewable energy, looking at other preventative measures. And that was very powerful for us when we were going after grants, some of which we won, some of which we did not. So I think we want to make sure when they do the roundtable discussion, we have representatives at the table. Because those MVP plans always have a stakeholder outreach.
So how do we ensure that we get to the table? Is someone going to monitor that?
Yep, that's Julia's job.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Julia.
Mhm.
It's a town-wide thing, so I think she's in the best position to be able to do it, but I think all of us should keep our ears open.
Yeah. So they had a core team for their MVP 2.0, which recently wrapped up this week, and they had applied for an action grant, that team. And so the action grant is to further inform the project. They are focused on creating a physical hub for social resilience. So those who might be affected by climate-related issues. Their previous project was more focused on, I think it was food sustainability, food access, climate-ready, affordable. It was food access, and then it was alternative plantings. And I can talk to Cassandra and see if we can get maybe a liaison onto whoever will make up this new core team.
Sorry, I had a screen pop up and block my mute button. So that's fantastic. All right, so we are at marketing, I think, and we're coming up on time. I know. So marketing, I think we should get an article out on the 500,000 reasons we want more solar energy and the deadlines around it, just to start publicizing and socializing in anticipation of the solar energy array warrant article. And then I think an article about the MOU once our subcommittee has some ideas around that. Those, in my mind, are the two marketing pushes. Any other, and then I think an article supporting the other warrant article related to the municipal functions going net zero and why that's there. Does that make sense? Any other articles or marketing that we want to do? So we'll focus on that. And then any matters not reasonably known in advance. Okay, hearing none. I would, oh yes, Tom? Are you
Yeah,
raising your
just quickly, I met with the fire chief
hand? Mhm.
and the budget on the new fire station and the remodeling of the existing station has run up, let's just say, into some headwinds. And as they start to whittle it down from whatever it is, and you can correct me, Julia, around 7 million down to around 4.5 million or in that vicinity, I'm concerned about what may fall by the wayside. And I'll just leave it at that right now.
Okay.
I think it'd be really good for us to see somehow or other what's not going to be on the table at the end.
Yeah, well, and it's
if it-
interesting. I think we just need to keep National Grid involved and
Yep.
let them think about the longer term savings to offset the upfront costs.
Yeah, the return on investment has to be there clearly, or it's just not going to be a starter for them.
Yeah. We think about two types of green. One is our
Exactly. That's exactly what we said today.
Good. Good. Yeah. And I think the school should be open to the thought of how to get more electricity savings. They're right now, I think, over budget by 150,000. So it behooves us to get as much. We're only 10% of the town's electricity usage is covered by the solar energy array. It behooves us for budgeting purposes and stability to try to get as much as we can. The problem is we've just run up against some deadlines that are going to be difficult to overcome, but we've got an opportunity, a golden opportunity, and I think we want to definitely move forward with that. Okay. Thank you everybody for all of your time and your commitment and passion and support. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Nobody wants to.
Nobody wants to.
So moved.
Everybody loves hanging out at 9:30 at night on a Thursday night. I do. I love hanging out with you guys. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Thank you, Tom. Second by Steve. All right. All in favor, wave your hands and say, we love AC. Thank you, everybody.
See you all.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night.